If you are a gamer, you have probably heard the song before. But what if it was meant to be placed in another cute game, like, for example,
Dark Souls.
The thing is, I'm not very used to composing epic orchestral music, so I decided to put myself on the spot and transform the song in a completely different genre. I felt discouraged and kinda overwhelmed in the beginning, so I had to plan step by step how I was going to approach this. My first challenge was to transform the original melody, which is very fast and happy, into a very dark, slow, tense motif. I started by learning it on the keyboard. And note by note, I changed it to become disgusting and dissonant. Now that I had the main riff of the song in place, it was time for an old man screaming in my ears. Wait, what? The OST for Dark Souls relies a lot on male choir, with big sounding voices. This is what I came up with. I also noticed that there was a lack of women in my production, so I introduced some female choir too. Much like in real life, the female voices occupy more of a background and supporting role, while the men get all the credit, of course.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But even with the huge presence of both strong women and men creating a bed for the melody, it still felt very weak and spineless. And that's where the bass came in, uniting everything to sound powerful and ominous. Nice.
Nice.
While in Kirby's theme song there is a very steady, cute rhythm happening along with the melody, a Dark Souls inspired track wouldn't benefit so much from something like that. Instead, I put some very horny horns to fill in that part. Well, maybe horny is not the word I was looking for, but moving on. And what else do we need right now? More tension, of course. Have you watched any suspense or horror movies recently? Then maybe you will recognize this sound. Spooky as fuck. Here's where it got complicated. Dark Souls can have some pretty dense percussive sections, with tons of different instruments playing very complex parts. Luckily for me, I have a Splice subscription that allows me to find any instrument and sound I like, or need. Not sponsored, by the way, unless maybe they want. Maybe. Really not begging for money here.
Unless?
I started by downloading some timpani hits, which are these big drums used in orchestras. Very fat. I also got a lot of taiko sounds. They are traditional Japanese drums and they give a little bit more oomph to the sound. Also a taiko roll. We need more ritual
Dark religious cult energy.
Up in this bitch.
Also this taiko stick just because. This one is a rim hit with a lot of ambience to create more density. And to bring everything together like a very cute puppy in an American household, this taiko loop. Okay, now we can perform some blood sacrifices. To give a little more contrast and energy, this stick's loop fits right in the context of the song. I felt like I needed a distraction, just like that video where something random is happening like an animal jumping around and then there's a knocking door sound in the left. So I got this 4-tom loop and pushed it to the left. This is all making too much sense, so here's a random fucking woodblock just to throw you off a little bit. I didn't need this, but since it's my song, I put this very big kick with no apparent function whatsoever. And to top things off, I went all in with this gong hit that I don't even know if it makes sense, but sounds cool. And for more energy, I tried to fit this cymbal in a lot of the parts of the song. You know, just like your average electronic music producer would do. To give a little more cinematic flavor, I got this metallic hit happening every few seconds. Like your character in Dark Souls just got bonked in the head by some enemy sword. And now it's time for the cherry on top. The thing that makes every song in Dark Souls sound creepy and anxiety-inducing. Violin swells. Pure chaos and hell on earth. You could remove everything else in this production, but this one is a must. And that's basically it. That's how you make a
Fun, cute little song.
into an absolute
Madness. Psychotic.
and rage-inducing song. It sounds like this. If you enjoyed this process, let me know in the comments. I had a great time doing this, and any suggestions on what I should do next are very welcome. Alright, see you next time. Peace!